Welcome to today's video. We're going to be talking about living in the Woodlands, what buyers must know. So Woodlands, Texas obviously has been rated one of the top places in America to live by Niche Magazine 3 of the last 4 years. It's where we love to call it home. It's an amazing place, but a lot of things about the Woodlands catch people off guard and buyers find surprising. It's a top place in Texas for relocators as well as people moving from the greater Houston area to the Woodlands. Obviously, Woodlands is north of Houston, up I-45. It's an incredible place to call home with shopping, dining, trails, parks, nature, trees everywhere, hence the name. But there's a lot that people don't know about the Woodlands. So the purpose of this video is hopefully to give you a deeper understanding of the area. If you're looking to move here, just have questions, you've been researching online, just kind of a local insight from a realtor. My wife, Nicole, and I work a lot in this area. This is where we live. We love this area. We're very blessed to call it home, but we want to make sure we paint an accurate picture. Maybe it's the perfect place for you. Maybe it's not. But even if it is, there's a lot of variety within the Woodlands, and a lot of people don't know about that. So the purpose of this video is kind of help you understand the geography, the lifestyle, and the differences in different parts of the Woodlands. So if you're thinking about moving to the area, hopefully this is extremely helpful. There are a lot of things that buyers think are great and some they think aren't as great. We want to paint a really honest picture for you guys. So let's talk about what it's really like, what buyers must know living in the Woodlands in 2026. So the Woodlands is not Houston. A lot of people just kind of lump it together. It's not. It's very different. It's its own culture. It's its own community. It has its own amenities, its own lifestyle. It's also a lot bigger than people realize. Some people, if they don't lump it in with Houston, they kind of just think of it as a small suburb. It's got a lot of variety. It's got a lot more size to it than a lot of people understand, a lot more diversity of where you can live, what type of living you can enjoy. It's a great place to live. It's a great place to call home if you choose the right spot for you. And that's where we've met with some frustrated sellers who just weren't in the right spot. They love the general idea, but they're not in the right spot. So we want to make sure that if you're moving here, if you're buying here, we hope you get in the exact right location, because something a lot of people don't know is the Woodlands is comprised of 11 villages. So each village has a different geographical area, obviously, but also has a kind of different lifestyle, a different culture, different people are going to be more comfortable there, different commuter routes, proximity to different schools, not just schools like public schools, but also some of the top private schools that are in the Woodlands might be closer proximity to certain villages as well. So while each village is amazing and has its own unique charm, it's important that if you're going to move here, you understand what each village has to offer and which one is probably the best fit for you. So let's first just run through the 11 villages, and then we'll kind of talk about them in a little bit more detail. So the original Woodlands village is Grogan's Mill. It was founded in 1974. So that's going to be where 2 of the 3 Woodlands Country Club courses are, the Tournament Club and the Tournament Course and the Palmer Course. Those are both contained within the village of Grogan's Mill. The other 3 that are kind of the originals would be Panther Creek, Cochran's Crossing, and Indian Springs. Indian Springs is going to be where the 3rd Woodlands Country Club course, the player course, is contained. So those 4 original villages, you can kind of think of them as the center. They're connecting the Woodlands waterway, which if you Google image Woodlands is probably one of the first things you see. It's an amazing place for shopping, dining, nightlife, in so much as the Woodlands has nightlife. It's not really the vibe of the area, but there is a couple of kind of nice social clubs there, some really fun bars, great food. There's a Langford's Burgers that just opened there. One of Nicole and I's favorite spots is called the Dessert Shop. I get their monkey bar, and Nicole gets usually their vegan brownie, but fantastic, great atmosphere, really fun, easy to find parking. If you can't park on the street, there's multiple parking garages, beautiful to walk up and down the waterway. The waterway, you can rent paddle boats and go paddle up the waterway. You see a lot of people running, jogging, uh, families with strollers up and down the waterway. It's just a really cool place. Another thing that makes the waterway really unique is you have all the art and all the benches that each has a different theme that are along the waterway. And April and March is when a lot of art festivals take place in the Woodlands. Those are all going to be kind of centered usually around the waterway. And those dedicated benches, which are works of art in and of themselves, are definitely a feature of the waterway. So those 4 original villages are kind of centered around the waterway and along the Woodlands Parkway corridor. So geographically, I'm going to put a map on the screen right here. We reference this map pretty frequently, so we'll be popping back up. But you can think of those four original villages as kind of centered around Waterway, Woodlands Parkway corridor. So after that, you have your west villages. Those will be Alden Bridge and Sterling Ridge. So you may have heard, if you've been researching the area or if you're an avid golfer like me, of Carlton Woods. Obviously, the LPGA used to play one of their major tournaments there, the Chevron. It's an incredible country club, one of the most prestigious in all of Texas. And it is the original Carlton Woods. It's not a village, but the original Carlton Woods is in Sterling Ridge. So that's going to be where the Jack Nicklaus course is, the original clubhouse, the original estates of Carlton Woods are going to be in the Sterling Ridge village. There's also a second part of Carlton Woods. We'll get to that later. So your next three villages, which you need to keep in mind, are going to be your I-45 corridor villages, which are Town Center, very important one, lots of very commercial, very shopping, dining oriented. College Park, really fun. Again, more high energy, hustle bustle, closer to I-45 commuter routes. And then Grogan's Forest, which again, referencing the map, you can kind of see what I mean by the I-45 corridor. These villages, because of where they're located, are going to attract a slightly different pace of life and a slightly different lifestyle. Someone who's picking these villages is probably prioritizing commuter routes into Houston or proximity to the hospitals, which are right at where 242 and I-45 intersect. You've got St. Luke's, you've got Methodist Memorial, you got so much of the medical center of the Woodlands, which is a big part of the economy here, is right there at that T. And so these villages are going to put you right along the corridor to either get south into Houston. Obviously, a lot of people commute south into the city, south to 45 and 99, which is where you have a lot of energy company operations and offices. Exxon has a big campus there. Or you can go further, obviously, to Energy Corridor in downtown Houston itself. Or those people just in those villages really are probably prioritizing closeness to the medical center of the Woodlands. But again, different lifestyle, prioritizing probably a smaller yard, a little bit more noise, proximity to shopping and dining and work, commuter routes over the more peaceful, quiet lifestyle that most of the rest of the Woodlands enjoys. Pros and cons to each, different for every person. We want to help you find the place that's right for you, where you're going to be happiest and enjoy your life the most. Location, location, location. And that's why understanding these 11 villages is so important. So next, after you go through the I-45 corridor, your last two villages are going to be two of your newest ones. So Creekside Park, which is the newest one. That also is where, I know we mentioned it earlier, the other Carlton Woods Creekside. It's a Tom Fazio course. That's where that part of Carlton Woods is located. And that's where you're going to find a lot of newer homes, new construction opportunities, lots still available to buy and build, or lots in a little bit more of master plan community style developments where you're picking from a builder and picking a floor plan and just seeing it built within 4 to 6 months. Fun fact, Houston is one of the top cities in America for new construction. And while the Woodlands is fairly developed, it's not completely developed, and there's still opportunity to get a brand new home without tearing something down, remodeling, or necessarily having to find a lot, needle in a haystack. So Creekside Park would be a place where a lot of people go if they want a newer home. It's a little bit further from, the middle of the Woodlands, but it has some tremendous amenities. So one of our favorite places to hang out, Creekside Park has just a really cool commercial center. You've got an H-E-B grocery store across the road from that. You have some great restaurants, some fun little boutiques, and there's a kind of a turfed green with some art installations around it. That's just a really great place to relax, enjoy the Texas weather, get a cocktail, get an ice cream, whatever your flavor is. There's a cool vintage candy shop there as well. It's just got a really good family vibe. It's a little bit further from the center, a little further from I-45. Still easy to get in and around the area. You're close to Tomball. You can get north into like Magnolia and Hockley if you want a little bit more of a rural experience and some of the kind of traditional classic restaurants that are out there, which could certainly be another video. But it's just a great place. And then the last one is Research Forest. It's kind of the outer side on the north commercial corridor. Again, this could potentially be a good fit for people who are working in the medical industry in those hospitals or need access to I-45 or just want to be a little bit further north, whether they want to go to Lake Conroe on their weekends. That's a pretty popular one. that really fits. Or if for some reason you want to be as close to Dallas as possible while still enjoying the Woodlands lifestyle, being in one of the 11 villages in the Woodlands, Research Forest is a great fit for a lot of people. Again, great proximity to grocery stores, to gyms, to parks, great schools. Each of the 11 villages has its own unique flavor and fit for different people. And so that's why we always encourage people, even if you want just know of the Woodlands and you know it's a great place to live and you want to live there, make sure you talk to someone who's local so we can help you find the right place for you, whatever you're prioritizing, whether that's lifestyle, shopping, dining, peace and quiet, schools, commuter routes. Everyone has different priorities, and that's why it's really important to just kind of know these things going into it and then get into more detail as you start to narrow your search. So again, we already kind of mentioned it, lifestyle. What's the Woodlands like as a whole? So obviously the Woodlands is going to be a little bit more for professionals and for families. It's not really going to be big on like high energy lifestyle, partying, things like that. That's more going to be Houston Heights, downtown, more areas that are further south. The Woodlands is really family centric and professional centric. So the types of people you run into the Woodlands, very professional, very great people. You see a lot of families everywhere, all up along the waterway. You're going to see families out with their kids, enjoying the weather, enjoying the water, enjoying the paddle boats, all the art installations, Creekside Park in that green area. There are always kids running, playing, having a great time. The Woodlands has a really great atmosphere if that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for kind of that successful professional or you're looking for a family atmosphere. You also have a lot of people who are downsizing or resizing from living more closer to Houston. And they want a little bit more peace and quiet, and they want some of the great golf courses and the wine bars and dining and shopping that the Woodlands has to offer. So whether they're going to pick Grogan's to be close to Woodlands Country Club, or maybe Sterling Ridge if they want to be part of Carlton Woods and that culture and atmosphere and that network, there's something to offer for everyone who's looking for that type of lifestyle. So there's different flavors, but that's hopefully gives you an understanding of kind of the types of people who would be your neighbors in the Woodlands, while obviously each different village, proximity to highways, proximity to medical, proximity to Woodlands Parkway, whatever their kind of priorities are, schools, you're going to see different flavors of that within the different villages. Also, a lot of people want established homes. Some people want new homes. The good thing about the Woodlands is you have a mixture of both. Obviously, we've already said Creekside Park is probably where we're going to be most likely to find a newer build home or an opportunity to build a new home. But that doesn't mean you can't find newer homes or opportunities in the other villages. Um, we just saw a pretty recently constructed home in Grogan's, the original 1974, the other day. So, yes, there's a variety in each village. But if you're truly looking for new, Creekside Park is probably where I would recommend you start. If you're looking for more established neighborhoods, you really can't go wrong with Grogan's Mill, Panther's Crossing, Panther Creek, Hawkins Crossing, Indian Springs, Sterling Ridge. All of those are going to give you established neighborhoods with walking trails, trees, mature trees, just amazing established character in the homes and in the communities. So there's something truly for everyone. And then pricing and days on market, let's look at the Woodlands as a whole. So the Woodlands is going to be a premium price point for the North Houston or all of Houston area. Definitely in North Houston, Woodlands, you're looking at a higher price point, but you're also looking, and something buyers need to know as well as sellers. The Woodlands has the shortest days on market average of all the areas in North Houston and most of Houston total. So if you're looking to list your home in the Woodlands, you're in luck. It's not going to sit on the market for very long, and you're going to get a top price in terms of appreciation percentage versus other parts of Houston. If you're a buyer, not only do you need to know which village or villages you want to narrow your search to, but you need to know that you need to be decisive because it is a high value area. The price is going to be a little bit higher than you might see other places, but you're getting that lifestyle, you're getting the proximity, and also the houses are going to sell quicker than you're going to see anywhere else. So the difference on days on market versus for the Woodlands versus all of Montgomery County in terms of average, it's about a 15-day difference. So houses are selling over 2 weeks faster if they're in the Woodlands than they would if they were outside the Woodlands in Montgomery County. Montgomery County is north of Houston. So hopefully that's helpful for sellers, but also especially for buyers. You need to know if you're moving into the Woodlands, you need a local realtor like us, me and Nicole, and we can help you be decisive and find the right home and the right location for you. So let's talk about who fits in the Woodlands. Like I mentioned, professionals, families fill up the majority of the people here, as well as downsizers and retirees. Do any of those sound like you? Does the lifestyle of the Woodlands sound like something you would enjoy? I definitely think the Woodlands is an amazing place to live. It's been rated the way it has for a reason. We love living here, and all of our clients who've relocated to the area love it as well. If the Woodlands sounds like a place that you would like to learn more about, definitely subscribe to our channel, follow our videos, and feel free to drop in a comment about any specific village you're curious about or more about the lifestyle, demographics, and the flavors of the Woodlands, because we want you to love it here. And part of that is location, 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 and making sure you understand where you're moving to and you love where you're at. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this was helpful. Subscribe, like, comment any further questions, and we'll talk to you soon.